Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be talking about something very interesting. I made recently a video called What Nobody Wants to Talk About, a Heart to Heart, and it was basically about like how drugs are seen as very like glamorous lately, and they're all over like social media and people joke about them and stuff, and how like actually dangerous they could be. I also went into depth of how like I could have seen myself getting like addicted to some things and how I kind of stopped that, and basically just trying to like warn you guys about like the realness of what drugs are freaking like. So I made that video, and if you want to go check that out, please feel free. Definitely go watch that after you watch this, or before, whatever you want to do. So this video today is going to be a personal story time about something that I have tried before. It's going to be my first time trying Molly/ecstasy. This is for entertainment, and it is a story that I think would be like interesting to share, and so you guys can like kind of understand, because sometimes when you don't know about something, you want to learn about it, or you want to hear about it, or what happened, but doesn't mean that I'm promoting it or you need to go out there and do it. That is absolutely not the case. And if you also go watch that other video, I will talk about how much I am not trying to promote this. But you know, let's just get into the freaking video. Before I get into the story time about my first time trying ecstasy, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about what you should do and why it potentially like isn't safe, and kind of like the harmful effects real quick. So I'm not Gandhi, you know, I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you don't do drugs, never do drugs, and then sit here and tell you a story time about it. I would never promote anything like this. I highly recommend you do not touch anything, honestly, because everything can become addicting. Things can be very, very bad for you. Things can just be terrible. It can break up relationships, families. They are not anything to mess with. But I'm sitting here more so as your big sister and someone that really has no way to control what you do. So if you do decide to do anything along these lines, please buy a test kit first. Please buy something where you can test exactly what you're getting. There's actually been a story today on Twitter about a rapper, I think, named Little Peep, and he had a Xanax, and it was laced with, I forget what it's called, I think it was like fentanyl or something like that. And basically fentanyl is 10 times stronger than heroin. So he had died, unfortunately. Super, super sad. Rest in peace. But, you know, it's like you really have to test your shit. You have to know what you're getting. You can't, like, be overdosing and popping a bunch of pills. It's not cool. It's not funny. Shit can be laced. It's not all fun and games, and I would die if I ever lost any of you. So please, please, please be safe. You can get your test kits online. I will link one down below for you guys. So that's just my recommendation if you don't care what I say at all and you're going to go out and party. I mean, at least do that. Try to protect yourself as much as possible, because shit can definitely go south. Plus, you know, ecstasy and Molly is very commonly mixed with other more intense drugs, but I was way more preachy in my last video, so if you want to watch that, go ahead. I will talk to you guys now about my first time personally ever trying ecstasy. So the story is, I was kind of just chilling. This was back in February, and I was kind of bored with life. I had nothing to do. I had never gone to a festival or rave prior to this. Like, I would talk to people, and they would always be like, so, like, have you been to any raves or festivals and stuff like that? You've got to have gone to a music festival. And I was just like, no, never. And I was so content with having never gone to a music festival. I don't know why. And I didn't realize what I was missing, because I love the music, I love the vibes, I love the people. Anyways, I didn't know much about them, but I had known, like, previously back in high school, people always talked about raving and ecstasy. Personally, I raved a lot back in high school, but I never did ecstasy. So I guess when I say, like, I've never been to a music festival or rave, like, I'm talking, like, a real one. I had been to, like, a little tiny one back when I was, like, a sophomore in high school, but, you know, that barely counts. Anyways, so I get a text from my friend, and we're gonna call her Shay. So Shay texts me out of nowhere. So she asks me if I wanted to go to a rave with her and some of her friends. And I got really excited, but I was very, very nervous, and I just didn't know if I wanted to go or not. I had no desire to go to a music festival or rave, whatever, at this point. So when she asked me, I was like, okay, like, you know what? I haven't gone to any sort of rave since I was 15, so might as well take this opportunity. I kind of decided on it for a couple days, and then I was like, you know what? Let's do it. And when I said, let's do it, I asked her, and I was just like, are people going to be, like, doing ecstasy? Because as I'd known, even when I was in high school, people were doing that shit at any kind of club, music festival. They were doing it. So as I thought, like, these two were very heavily, you know, brought together, I was trying to see if that's what they were doing, if they were going to get me to do it. And I have talked about how, like, that kind of point in my life, I was not very happy, I was not in a good mood. And I just kind of decided to go for it. I didn't really care, so I was like, you know what, let's be wild, let's live a little. I'm down to try it because I really trust Shay. Like, Shay was one of my old coworkers. She's still one of my really good friends. Like, I love this girl, so I trust her, and I know she wouldn't do anything too crazy either. So she tells me, yeah, she can go ahead and get some. So they did, and they were gonna have some there. I went like 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm just gonna cancel on the rave. I'm gonna bail. I don't want to do this. I'm not ready. I don't even want to go all the way down to San Diego for the rave. And I forgot to mention that the rave was back down in San Diego, so that was like a whole other issue because I had to drive all the way down there and stuff. This rave was about to come up on a Sunday, and the rave that I was going to, by the way, also was called LED Anniversary. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that, but it's down in San Diego at the Valley View Casino Center, I believe. And so this Sunday rolls around, and my brother-in-law and my sister had invited me to Disneyland in the day, and apparently this rave went from like 9 or 10 o'clock to 4 in the morning. So this was a way later rave, and I had plenty of time to go to Disneyland with them in the day, my sister and my brother-in-law, and then leave and drive all the way down to San Diego from Orange County, aka Anaheim, and go to this rave with them. So I go to Disneyland with them in the day. They had no idea what I was about to do after this. We had a good time there, and I ended up leaving, and I totally thought I was going to bail. Like, I just thought I wasn't going to do it. I bought my ticket and everything, but I just thought, you know what, whatever, let's not do this. I'm not ready for this, like, whatever. But I ended up being crazy, and I drove all the way down about 2 hours to where the Valley View Casino Center was. We decided to all get a hotel and drive like in an Uber and a taxi back or whatever, and stay at a hotel that was near Valley View Casino. So there was going to be a couple people there, and it was Shay, her friend, and her other friend and her boyfriend, and then this one girl that we met on Bumble Friend. Or not we, they met her on Bumble Friend. So like, you know how you would find a guy on Bumble or whatever? This girl came up on like Bumble BFF, and we had invited her to come as well. So I get here, and I'm not familiar with any of these people other than Shay. And we're all just like kind of chilling, getting ready. One of the girls there, I felt like she did not like me at all. Like, when I dead ass thought this girl hated me. We're all getting ready for the rave. I have no idea what to wear. So for my first rave, I wore like denim shorts, a black shirt, cat ears, and like a red bandana on my shorts. I have no idea what I was really doing. It's not a rave outfit. Like, if you've seen my outfits now, or like you can see other girls in rave outfits, you'd be like, what the hell were you wearing? But it was lit. We're all chilling in the hotel room. The Bumble BFF girl is like really shy, and she's really nervous because it was her first time taking the pill too. And I was just like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I'm gonna. But we all end up getting ready, and then they give us like these pills, these multivitamins, to make sure that like it all goes smoothly. So before you take your pill, or before you start rolling, you're supposed to take like some green tea pills. You're supposed to take vitamin C, magnesium, like stuff to kind of help with the things that go on while you are under the influence. So I was just like, all right, well, I'll take these because they're just vitamins, and then we'll see what really happens. So we end up taking them. I'm so nervous because I'm basically with like a group of people that I don't know besides Shay, and I'm about to do something that I never thought I would ever do in my life, and I'm about to go to the first rave I've ever been to in a really long time. So like, stakes were high, all right? Nervousness was coming full force. And so one of the people there, I think it was like one of the girls' boyfriends, ended up driving us down there. So we drive down to the venue, and there's like a giant line outside, and I can see it, and I'm getting like really nervous. And so I'm like, okay, chill out, Olivia, it's gonna be fun. You're just trying to have a good night. Like, you don't give a fuck. Like, you're just trying to have fun lately. Like, let's do this. So we park, and they pull out these pills. And so, I don't know if like you guys know this, but ecstasy is different than Molly. So I will give you a little bit of an educational bit. Ecstasy is a pressed pill. So it's those like crazy looking pills where they're different colors, they're pink, and they have like a logo on them. So let's make up something. Let's make up a pink leaf, alright? So that would be the pill that you're taking. So that's a different type that a different person had made. Pink leaf, yellow lamp, like things like that, alright? Just pretend. But they're more so like very like known logos, like lamp and leaf. That probably wouldn't have been said. With Molly, Molly is supposed to be pure. So Molly is MDMA, and that is the main chemical that makes you happy and makes you release the serotonin, and makes basically the drug what it is. So Molly is just pure MDMA, but it's not always pure, so be very careful, and that is the reason for test kits. There can be meth in it, there can be other things, but it's basically just like the pure rock of MDMA. With ecstasy, it's, you know, those crazy crazy tight pressed pills, and it's definitely mixed with other things. It can be definitely mixed with meth, caffeine, just like a bunch of other stuff. So I would say ecstasy is deemed as the more dirty version and Molly is the more clean version, but you really don't know at all. They can all be dirty. So we get this pill and it just looked like a regular pill. It looked like Tylenol. That's exactly what it looked like. So I watched Shay take half of it and she gives me the other half. And this is another important learning lesson. I had thought the whole time, like, why are they trying to jip me taking half of an ecstasy pill? Like, shouldn't I be taking the whole pill if I'm going to be doing this? Like, am I even going to feel anything? Like, what's going on? So she takes half the pill, gives me the other half, and then, you know, trust me, I realized throughout the night that that is all you need. You never start with more than a half. Ever, if you are going to do this, never start with more than a half because you will be on your ass and it will not be okay. So she takes the half, I take the other half, everyone's splitting up their pills, we all take it and then decide to go inside. So we have nothing on us, there's nothing like illegal that we're bringing into the venue or anything like that. We walk up to the security, we go in, and we waited probably like 30 minutes, and if you don't know this, it takes a minute to kick in, it takes like 30 minutes to an hour to kick in, and I had no idea because I'd have no previous knowledge at this point. So I was very, very nervous. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, when is it gonna hit me? What is it gonna feel like? Like, what is it? Because all I know is this term ecstasy, and it's supposed to make you feel really bomb, right? So we finally walk in and we start walking to like where the stage is, and it's basically just like one stage, and the couple different DJs take over the stage, and it's just one. So like at the other events I go to, it's multiple stages, but that's different. So we walk in, and it's like this big arena, and there's like seats all around. And right as we walk in, my favorite song is playing at the moment. It was my favorite song. It was called Quit You by Tinashe. And that was playing because Lost Kings was there, and that's the DJs or whatever that made the song. And right as we walk in, I start feeling it. And it's a very, very interesting feeling. Like, you kind of just start to feel like super happy, which is like, obviously that's what everyone says, right? But you start to feel super happy and just super like giddy, and I just remember jumping up and down and kind of like yelling at the song and like dancing as like really free as I could, and you just kind of like forget everything and you just get like really happy. So I was like getting lit as fuck for a minute, so we go find like a seat and we decide to kind of stand in the bleacher area. I don't know if you call it bleachers, it's not bleachers. In the fucking, it's just in the seats around the stage, okay? So we're just standing there and we're dancing and everyone's just like checking in on each other, and I'm just kind of like, whoa, like I'm feeling something. I don't know what I'm feeling, but it's fucking intense, but I like it. So it was just like a very unexplainable, like, whoa. Like, just imagine being like, whoa. Like, I don't even know exactly how to explain it. It's very easy to get nauseous, so I started to get super, super nauseous, and so I had to sit down on the chairs, and I was like kind of calming myself down and just trying to figure out what happened. Also had to make sure we were on top of our water drinking. You don't want to drink water too fast because that can literally like drown your fucking organs or something like that if you are taking this pill. So you gotta sip it really slowly. So I had my water and I calmed myself down. But that was like a scary part of it because I didn't know what I was feeling. I was in this giant auditorium with a bunch of screaming, dancing, yelling people. Everyone was on something. Like, it was wild. Everyone was on something. And it was my first time like seeing that or experiencing that. And when you are in that state of mind, you can tell when other people are in that state of mind. Like, it's very clear as day. So I calm myself down, everyone's checking up on me, and then Shay and like some other people decide to leave. So I was like, no, please don't leave me. But I didn't care because you're kind of just like don't care about things, which can also be kind of dangerous because you don't know what the hell you're going to get yourself into. You don't know who you're going to hang out with. Like, you don't know what's going to happen because you're so open. You're just willing to hang out with anyone and talk to anyone, and you're just so happy, and it's just very interesting. So we end up going down with like the girl that I thought didn't like me and the Bumble BFF girl, and all three of us went down into like the pit where the stage was, because you can like go and stand up and dance, or you can sit on the chairs. So we went down there to like party with everyone. I was getting hot as hell. Like, I was so hot I deadass could have passed out, which is very dangerous. That is like a huge danger of Molly and ecstasy, is like overheating, and like when you're in a crowd and you're dancing too much, you're not drinking enough water, that can dead ass make you pass out or worse. So you have to be really careful with that, and I still wasn't very aware of this. So we were just kind of like down there hanging out, and it was like pretty much a really great night from that point on. Like, I met a lot of nice people. You're in such a friendly mood that you just get to meet a lot of people. And I did kind of have a story where I told you guys about a guy that I had seen, and like I got lost from him forever because he came up to me and asked me to dance, and I was like so excited, and we danced together, and I thought he was like super cute and stuff like that, and then he was like, thank you, and he walked away, and I was like, come back. But like, that was just like really weird, like, 'cause your emotions are all like fucked up and crazy. Now this stuff doesn't last that long. I mean, only taking half a pill probably lasted like 4 hours, or actually it lasted a little longer. I think the first time, because, you know, I was my first time and I had no tolerance to it and stuff, I had only taken a half, and it lasted me like pretty much all night. I was sober around the time we took the taxi home, which was like 4 a.m. And so I was like pretty much completely sober at that point. We ended up driving back to the hotel and pretty much passed out. I woke up early in the morning and I decided to drive home right away. Like, I gave them the hotel money that I had for my share and I just dipped out. Shay understood and everything. She just like had stuff to do that day. I just wanted to get out of there as fast as I could and go home because, and I'm sorry I'm talking so fast, this is the not so glamorous part about drugs, because they give you a very terrible come down. And I've explained, you're right here every day, the drug brings you up here and then you go way down here. And that's where you end up the next day. It can affect you for a very long term. If you have depression, it can make your depression 10 times worse. It can really fuck with your brain chemistry, and a come down is like very serious. I would say I spent about 3 days crying, very upset, very just like sad, wanting to do the drug again, wanting to rave again, because you're at this level that you've never been at before. And when you're not on it, you just go so low, and it's like, you don't just go back to normal, you go lower. And I mean, because what it's doing, basically what Molly and ecstasy is doing when you take it, is you are releasing the serotonin in your brain. And the serotonin in your brain is what makes you happy and feel good and all that stuff. So releasing that, you're releasing all of it at once, and then your brain has none of it left. So the next day, you have no happiness. You're completely like, you're just shot, and then your serotonin has to build back, and then it gets better. But with regular use, because you get so addicted after the first time, or you want to do it again, and then you keep releasing the serotonin, your brain can just eventually stop producing serotonin. It was just a miserable couple days after, and that's when I realized, like, fuck, like, I really just took a drug. Like, I want to fucking do this again. Like, what am I thinking? I need to chill out. I need to slow down. It starts opening up your third eye, as they like to call it, and it's very interesting, and you kind of have to stop yourself from going down that hole that many people go down, which is what I kind of talked about in the other video, which is where I could see myself having gotten addicted to things or wanting to do things more because of the feeling it gives you. But there's just a whole other downside to it. Like, you don't understand, like, that shit gets addicting. It's very serious. Like, it can completely change your brain chemistry. It can make you depressed long term, like forever. It can put holes in your brain. It can do a lot of things, and like, I've heard that that's kind of a myth, but with very prolonged use, I don't think that it's a myth. I'm pretty sure that's a real thing. So you just have to be super careful, and so that's just basically what I wanted to tell you guys today. Like, you just have to really be careful. Like, yeah, it's a great experience in the moment, and I mean, I can say, like, I had a lot of fun my first time. I had a lot of fun at the rave. It made me love the rave scene even more. I don't love the rave scene at all for the fact that, you know, people do drugs there, and it's just basically a lot about drugs. I love the rave scene for the people, the music, the vibe, the whole just venue. Like, it's just so great. And you don't have to do drugs to have fun there. You don't have to. I honestly find that just smoking a little weed that I actually like, as I also have mentioned, I did find like an indica that I kind of liked a little bit, so I've been smoking that a little bit and trying to get used to weed again. But smoking that just makes me like music even more. Like, it makes music sound so good. People say that ecstasy makes music sound good. It does, but weed makes music sound amazing. So if you just smoke a little bit, or you just want like a little beer or something, like, you can have just as fun at these music festivals if you do decide to go to these. So that is basically all I have to say today. I feel like I can be preachy as fuck and keep going, but I think that you guys get the point. If you want any more information on this, feel free to DM me and talk to me about it. I will definitely make more videos about it. I do have a story time about the bad shroom trip coming and my first acid trip, so if you guys want to hear that, let me know. But yeah, so that is basically that. Please be safe, you guys. Please be careful. I can't control what you do. I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you my advice and lead you in the best direction that I can and tell you that drugs are very dangerous. But there is that curiosity there where I feel like I can tell you guys, you know, these stories and open up to you about, you know, my journey with it and how I'm just calmed down from it and how I'm trying to be better because I don't want to go down a bad path in life. Anyways, that's all for my video today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Today's shout out goes to Angela Castillo. So I don't know if I pronounced that right, but thank you so much for supporting me. And you are today's shout out. You are awesome. Thank you for always being active on my social medias. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload every Monday and Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also follow me on social media. The links are down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see your lovely, beautiful faces in my next video. Bye, guys.